Hi, everyone, and happy Monday. Meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees here with WCNC Charlotte. It is Monday. Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich is at a weather conference, so you guys are stuck with me the next 3 days, but we actually will see Brad, technically, Jeb, later on in the show. We'll talk more about that, of course, coming up. But let's talk about a fantastic forecast. It was an amazing Monday. And I know for many people, Mondays and Tuesdays are probably your least favorite days of the week. Again, that's what I hear at least. Those are my days off normally. So, I guess it's not either here nor there. But it felt fantastic no matter where you were across the Carolinas. We saw rain and storms, of course, widespread on Saturday. The mountains, foothills obviously saw them the same day. The beaches had them yesterday, but now everybody is clear. Everybody is quiet, and it's time to have a great week. So today, temperatures reached 77 degrees, which is almost 10 degrees below average for this time of year. Our average high is 85 here in Charlotte, and again, a high of 77. That's an 8-degree difference. Currently at 75. The city looks amazing. Temperatures, again, right now in the 70s, with dew points in the 40s. I did not put the quad box up, but I should have. But I do want to just make a little side note about sunrises and sunsets. If you are someone who loves the sunset, loves the sunrise, the next 2 days, so today and tomorrow, will be great times to do so because there's some high clouds mixing in. I'm going to pop up really quickly our Dallas Tower cam because it's really, really obvious to see it there. And essentially, while I'm doing this, I'll go on a quick little tangent about clouds. So a lot of high clouds are cirrus clouds. So they're these thin, wispy clouds you see on the top portion of your screen. Oftentimes, if you see them in a trail, it will be contrails from an airplane. They look pretty similar. But the thing about cirrus clouds that is so amazing is that because they're really thin and because they're really small, the ice crystals and the water vapor droplets that are encompassed within them are also really small. And so when light refracts within them, they bounce off much more aggressively. And because a normal cloud, right, is pretty thick and they're thin, the light still shines behind them. That's why you can have completely cloudy skies during cirrus cloud situation and you'll still see sun. Technically, right? Because it's just shining through. And so these make for very vibrant sunrises and sunsets. So again, if you're a sunrise, sunset person, that'll be a really, really nice thing to view over the next few days. So there you go. Quick little tangent there from myself, which I guess is every single thing that I ever say, is always a tangent of some sort. Dew points are going to be very, very low the next few days. It's going to be a very comfortable forecast overall. We'll see ebbs and flows with the dew point. However, it's still going to be pretty nice. Even with the dew points going up, technically, we're still in that comfortable category. So if you are trying to take a late night stroll, or I guess technically now would not be considered late night, but any time from now through this evening, make sure you have a jacket of some sort. There will be light winds at times. So a little bit breezy with some wind gusts between about 15 to 20 miles an hour. But it's also the temperatures, folks. It is chilly. Or chilly maybe is dramatic. There's a chill in the air. There's a chill in the air. My significant other and I were walking Roger, my dog, last night, and I said there was a chill in the air. And the response I got was, it's not chilly. But again, there's a difference, right? A little bit of a chill, especially after we almost got to 90 both Friday and Saturday. Satellite and radar showing the storms that we had again over the weekend, now down to our south. You can't really see it because of where the little lower third is positioned, but there's still storms in Jacksonville, which is where, of course, the Panthers were this weekend. They did have a delay in their game. Unfortunately, wish the Cats would win. I guess the Jags are Cats too, but our Cats, unfortunately, just didn't do it. But there's always next week. Danielle Stein last night in our newscast said that it's the first week of NFL. 50% of the teams have to lose. That made me feel better as well since I grew up in Atlanta. But there you go. Satellite and radar product, again, nice and clear across the Charlotte area. Boom, here you go. Another view of the cirrus clouds from Dallas and Monroe. Lesser around Charlotte and Lake Norman right now. But again, folks, it is going to be a great evening. Here's that wind forecast. So next 12 hours or so, we'll see gusts now between about 25 to 20 and then eventually tapering off as we go throughout the evening. Now, this will not be gusty enough winds to really see a significant difference. I just think that combined with the cooler temperatures, it'll be more obvious. Low temperatures tonight across Charlotte, 56 degrees. That's the official forecast, which is 10 degrees below average. So again, this below average trend continues, not just the lows, but the highs as well. In the mountains, though, this morning, Boone dropped to 40. The official forecast tonight calls for the upper 30s. Honestly, I think we could even go a degree or two lower than 39, but I'm keeping that just for now, just to stay conservative. But what does this mean? Well, if Ashwaubenon and Avery County, if those lower elevation spots are flirting with the upper 30s, it means some places like Grandfather Mountain, Sugar Mountain, Beach Mountain, that's a lot of mountains, but Banner Elk, Blowing Rock, could flirt with the freezing mark the next few mornings. Now, if you're in a lower elevation spot in Burke and Caldwell, like Lenore, Morganton, you're probably flirting with the mid to upper 30s. As well as a few spots in the lower 40s. So you're not in the same category there. So if you're in Morganton and you don't get to freezing tonight, please don't get upset with me. Here's the dew point forecast again over the next few days. Oh, wait, I messed that up. I don't know what happened. I pressed space to move forward and it went all crazy. I thought that was just Tim's graphics messing with us, but nope, it was not. It was something with the computer. Technology works, you guys, until it stops working. That was an obvious statement. Forecast over the next 3 days, again in the Carolinas, very fall-like. Our average high 85. So we'll be closer to that by Thursday, but still tomorrow and even on Wednesday, even if we flirt with 80, still very, very nice weather looking ahead. Now, long-range forecast does show that we will see some warmer temperatures by the middle part and end of September. Now, that does not necessarily mean we'll be flirting with 90 because remember, the average right now is in the mid-80s. So if we're slightly above average, that doesn't mean 90. That can mean 86. That can mean 87. But it is still something I'm noting in that forecast. Quick update on what's going on in the tropics. The answer is not a thing, which is great news going into the peak of hurricane season, which is Wednesday. However, it is a good reminder still of the time of year we are in because this time last year in 2024, it was actually even slower than 2025 has been so far. So again, everything's about perspective. We want things to be slow, right? But we also want to make sure we're keeping an eye on the forecast. Nothing going on right now with tropical development. We know that Invest 91L, Tim and I talked about this on Friday, essentially dissipated because all of the dry air and all of the Saharan dust. So it is no more. Here's that 7-day forecast. So again, mid 50s to upper 50s the next 2 mornings. This morning got to around 58. So Wednesday will be the same. Tons of sunshine in the afternoon. Again, upper 70s tomorrow, low 80s Wednesday. We're still feeling very fall-like. No rain in the forecast over the next 7 days. So that is certainly something to be excited about because honestly, the forecast, truthfully, it's hard to get much better than this. So things are calm. Things are clear. We, of course, are going to be talking a lot more about the forecast coming up right here on Live Weather Impact in just a few minutes with meteorologist Tim Buckley from WFNY. But for now, we got to go to a quick break. We'll be right back.